communities in the world today. If they have the means, they can sweep Africa for Islam from Cape to Cairo. They have that spirit in them. They want the wherewithal, the means of doing the job. Then the other half originated in Indo-Pakistan subcontinent. They also came there because they were starving, famines after famines in India, Pakistan, so they wanted to eke out a living. They went there to eke out a living. Poverty, poverty, abject poverty. They didn't go as businessmen, and they didn't go as missionaries. We were also under pressure, but alhamdulillah, the Muslims as a people as a whole, they survived. They didn't get lost in that ocean of kufr. We survived, and we have also come out to be a good Muslim community. Outwardly, salat, zakat, hajj, psalm, in that, all that, the South African Muslim is all right. He's all right. It's not too bad. But we didn't do dawah. Reason, I already gave you. Under slavery, as a slave, the poor Malay or Indonesian, we call them all Malays now, he couldn't have told his white taskmaster, his slave master, boss, sir, you know, you're going to go to hell. So why? He says, you know, the Quran says, لَقَدْ كَفَرَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّ اللَّهُ الْمَسِيحُ ابْنُ مَرْيَمَ. Anyone who says that Jesus Christ, the Son of Mary, is God, is making kufr. It's an act of blasphemy, treason against Allah. وَقَالَ الْمَسِيحُ, but Christ said, يَا بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ أُوتُلُونَ فِي إِسْرَائِيلَ لَعْبُدُ اللَّهِ, worship Allah. رَبِّي وَرَبُّكُمْ, who is my Lord and your Lord. إِنَّهُ مَنْ يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ, whoever will associate anyone with Allah, فَقَدْ حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ لِلْجَنَّةِ, Allah will make Jannat haram for them. Heaven will be forbidden for them. وَمَأْوَاهُ النَّارِ, and the fire of hell will be the dwelling place. وَمَا لِلظَّالِمِينَ مِنْ أَنصَارٍ, and for the wrongdoers there will be no one to help. He dared not open his mouth. The guy would have smashed his jaw, killed him. What can he do as a slave? Can you speak to his masters? You can't. And we, poor beggars, come from India starving, eking out a living, we couldn't do the job. But today, alhamdulillah, out of these shackles of 300 years of oppression, what they call apartheid, keeping people apart racially, this is the white man, he is supreme. Under him comes a colored, a mixture of black and white. They call them coloreds, separate. White man, separate. Colored, separate. Indian, separate. African, separate. Not allowed to mix. Apartheid, keeping people apart. They did it. And they created reservation, like the Americans do for the Indians. The Indian reservations, keep people all apart. Now, my president, de Klerk, he's just made a statement a month or so ago. He said, the book of apartheid is now closed. The book of apartheid, of keeping, that's the system, the philosophy of keeping all these different races apart, has now, that book has been closed. The oppression, the discrimination is now finished. So he said. But that doesn't change the heart and mind of people. It doesn't. By law, you can say, look, don't discriminate, but the heart can't change with that. You need a change of heart. And the only system, the system was to keep the people different church, separate church. The African, they did one thing great. The white man, in enslaving people, gave him the Bible in his own mother tongue. That's great. The African, the Zulus and the Xhosa and all the other people, they're different tribes and races. They didn't have a written language. They didn't know how to read or write. Any language. They could speak, but they couldn't read and write. So they gave them a written script. They gave them a script to write and their own language to read. And they gave them a book. And there is something in the nature of man. I think if he's got a healthy mind, he wants knowledge, and the easiest way and the best friend that you can have is a book. Easily available, you can talk to him. The book talks to you, you talk to the book. Reason. So they gave him a book. To every tribe, a book in his own language. How many? For the Africans alone, Altogether, 3,046,000 were given out. It continues. Scriptures in Afrikaans, English, and Zulu were most in demand. The most in demand was English, Afrikaans, the language of the ruler, and Zulu. Talking about millions, millions, millions. What have we to offer? They gave them a book, and they gave them a separate church. Everyone a separate church. Separation. Not even in church they'll get together. Not even in death, not in life, not in death. Time and again, when the African, his master dies, his boss, so the poor fellow goes to church to offer a prayer. He's a Christian, belongs to the same church, a denomination. But they kicked out. They said, "You kafir, what the hell you want here? You know, your prayers are not needed here, get out." Again and again they kicked out. But they created through this book 3,000 different sects and denominations among the whites, everyone a different church. 3,000. Among the whites of South Africa, 1,000 different churches and denominations, and 3,000 among the blacks. Linguistically, sectarianism, you say this is an Anglican, this is a Lutheran, this is a Presbyterian, this is a Jehovah's Witness, this is a Seventh-day Adventist, and on and on and on. 3,000 different churches have been created for them. Very beautiful way of ruling the people. They gave them a book and they gave them a church, a separate church. We have to offer people something. You can't just say, "This garb of yours I don't like. You know, this Arab garb. Throw it away." No. If I want to tell you, I must give you an alternative. I said, "Look, brother, this is a bit, this is coming in your way. You know, working in a factory or this or that, you know, you can get entangled and you can get hurt. So for that, I said, look, you need a T-shirt and a jean. You want to work for me? T-shirt and a jean, please. You have to change for this. Or I have to give you an alternative. No sense in just saying, condemning something. This is no good, that's no good, that's no good. No. You have to give an alternative. They have got the Bible and they have got a church. We have to give them a church, a place of worship. And alhamdulillah, the Muslim community, as small as we are, we have today more than 400 masjids in the country. All built except for one, with our own sweated labor. No help from the outside. We have done a beautiful job. I said except for one. All our own sweated labor. We have got more than 400 different madrasas, religious schools in the country. Our own sweated labor. We look after our widows, our cripples, everything, charity. We are doing a fine job. But now, the part of South Africa, the most dominant community in that country are the Zulus. And the Zulus happen to be 8 million strong, a cohesive community. They are really like the Quraysh in the times of early Islam. The Quraysh among the different tribes. This is Bani Kalb and this